This is a group presentation by Group 6 members of Central University, and then we are actually discussing some topics in critical thinking that we believe will be very helpful for you guys out there. First, we're going to start with the introduction. In the study and application of critical thinking, it is necessary to analyze statements and problems to be able to come up with logical, rational solutions and conclusions. This process includes the analysis of language and meaning construction. This is what will be discussed in this video. Ambiguity. The word itself, ambiguity, is so huge. First, let us discuss ambiguity. This is when a word or phrase can have more than one meaning, causing lack of attention to detail. The types of ambiguity are lexical, referential, and syntactic. For the lexical ambiguity, in this, a word has more than one meaning. Example, Lisa is engaged now. This could mean Lisa is busy or she is committed to marriage with someone. For the referential ambiguity, this is when the pronoun or quantifier in the context is not clear. Example, John helped James cut down the trees because he did not like them. The he here may refer to John or James. Syntactic ambiguity. In this, the grammatical structure of a statement can be interpreted in different ways. Example, Mercy got the bag ready for her daughter wearing a pink dress. Was Mercy wearing the dress or her daughter? In order to eliminate ambiguity, we should rewrite our sentences unless there are different interpretations. This process is called disambiguation. Vagueness. This means lack of certainty in a statement. This could mean the statement is not clearly stated. Example, Amma will be here in about 10 minutes. Another example is this kind of food is sold. Definition. As the word goes, a definition is a statement of the meaning of a term, a word, a phrase, or other set of symbols. There are different kinds of definitions. We have the reportive, the stipulative, and the precising definition. For the reportive definition, this type should not be too wide or too narrow. Example, defining animals as living things is too wide since plants are also living things but not animals. A definition is too narrow if the definer fails to include things to which the defendum applies. For the stipulative definition, if the definition is accepted, then the term is used in the new way that is described. Example, if it's accepted to use WHA as World Human Association, then one can use it and it will be accepted. When being used, it should be used throughout. For the precising definition, it is in between reportive and stipulative definition. Definitions are more precise. Example, all youths under 25 years should wait after church. This is precise because 25, 26 to 35 are all youths. There are some techniques in definitions. We have definition by synonym. The words are defined by giving another term. Example, physician is the same as doctor. Then the definition by ostension. The meaning of a term will be explained by giving examples. Example, meaning of violet. You should just point out something with a color to show violet. Definition by genus differential. This type of definition is useful because it informs the audience about the kind of thing that the defendum applies to, even if the meaning is too difficult to remember. Example, ice is the same as frozen water. For the use and mention, we mention a term by using its name. The distinction between use and mention can be illustrated for the word cheese. I'm using cheese. Cheese is derived from milk. Then the mention. Cheese is derived from the old word cheese. The first sentence is a statement about the substance called cheese. It uses the word cheese to refer to that substance. The second is a statement about the word cheese as a signifier. It mentions the word without using it to refer to anything other than itself. Here we come to consistency and inconsistency. A set of statements is said to be consistent when it is logically possible for them to happen in the same situation. Example, Grace is in school and Grace writes exams are consistent with each other because everyone in school writes exams. A set of statements is inconsistent when it is logically impossible to happen in the same situation. Example, Kofi is a gentleman and Kofi is a girl are inconsistent because a girl cannot be a gentleman. For implication, an implication is the conclusion that can be drawn from something although it is not explicit. It can also be an action or state of being involved with something. An implication is that to which our thinking is leading us. When you say things, you imply certain other things. Example, when you make a promise, you imply that you will keep it. Another example is when you say you visit your mother, it means you will visit her. In dealing with implications, you must also consider the source. For the logical equivalence, the condition of being equal in value, worth, function, etc. In logic, statements are logically equivalent if they have the same logical content. Symbols are also used for material equivalence. Logical equivalence is different from material equivalence, although the two concepts are closely related. Examples of statements that are logically equivalent are: if Lydia is in Denmark, then she is in Europe. If Lydia is not in Denmark, then she is not in Europe. Let's move on to necessary truth and necessary falsehood. A necessary truth is a proposition that could not possibly have been false. This can be expressed by saying that a necessary truth word. An example of that truth that many philosophers take to be necessary in this sense is 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. No matter your calculation, 5 plus 5 will always be equal to 10 and not 20. Whilst necessary falsehood is a preposition false in all words. Example, without oxygen, human beings can live. This is false because without oxygen, human beings cannot live. Then let's move to contingent truth and contingent falsehood. Contingent truth is a true preposition that could have been false, whilst a contingent falsehood is a false preposition that could have been true. This is sometimes expressed by saying that a contingent preposition is one that is true in some possible words and not in some words. Summary. In conclusion, the above definitions and examples describe to us ways by which we can analyze language and meaning construction to aid us in the application of critical thinking to make logical and rational conclusions in our daily lives. This brings us to the end